Euromaxx highlights. And here's your host, Louise Houghton.
Hello and welcome to the show. We start off in the world of motorsports, but before we get to that, let's take a look at what else is coming up for you in the next half an hour. Festive fair. The Christmas market opens its gates in the city of Nuremberg. Season start. Skiing through the centre of the Swiss resort of St. Moritz. And boys' toys. More and more guys are spending their free evenings in toy stores. How is it possible to revive an old brand? Well, one Italian family seemed to have the answer. The Malinotti brothers already had success with Belstaff, and they turned the British brand into a hot fashion label 2 years ago. Since then, they've taken over Matchless, a motorcycle brand with a range of vintage-inspired jackets, and all seems to be on track.
This dream machine dates back to 1907. It triumphed in the world's oldest motorbike race over a century ago, the Isle of Man TT. This model from the 1930s is another of this bevy of British beauties. They're on show not in London, but in Milan, in the showroom of brothers Manuel and Michele Malinotti.
All the family are by.
Father, the grandfather,
my son, everyone.
Son, children. It's a long tradition of passion for motorcycle. Where when we were a little child, we were going very fast with our fathers on the motorcycle. And our father was a big champion in the motorcycle racing.
Last year, the brothers bought up Matchless, originally a motorbike constructor and more recently specialising in biker wear. The winged M adorns modern jackets, harking back to the glory days of biking. With the boots to match, of course. Plus bags. British style, made in Italy for a rather exclusive clientele. Prices for the leather jackets start at €1,000.
They have to be fashion, like this one you can see is a beautiful model. And apart that she's beautiful too. Make the jacket more beautiful. But also, of course, they need to be authentic and as technical characteristic.
Before climbing aboard Matchless, the Malinottis had enjoyed a successful stint with another British company, Belstaff. The brothers are credited with resurrecting the heritage label founded in 1924 and re-establishing the luxury clothing brand on the world's roads and runways. The Malinottis also revived the iconic outfitter's Hollywood connection. As well as being sported off-screen by movie stars, Belstaff wear has been featured in over 70 films in recent years, including The Aviator. The brothers are hoping to repeat that success with Matchless. Matchless is one of Britain's oldest motorcycle brands. It was founded by Henry Collier in 1878, at first to make bicycles. The first Matchless motorbike was made in 1899. Soon, Collier's inventions were winning races. Matchless is now set to restart its traditional bike production division next year, albeit in Italy. The first design is already approved.
Today, the trend is to have like just a bike for passion or for journey, easy to drive. There is no... People don't look anymore to performance. They like to have just a bike that can complete the character of the person.
The reborn brand opened its first store in the summer, not in Milan or London, but in an upscale resort on the German island of Sylt. Matchless clothing is already available in a range of department stores across the globe. For the Malinottis, women also constitute a very important target group. The 2013 winter collection was graced by none other than supermodel Kate Moss.
Motorcycle lifestyle is sexy, at the same time it's glamorous. You can mix, a long dress, red carpet dress with a motorcycle blouson and it still is cool.
In fact, the Malinotti brothers' own bike of choice is a Triumph. But next year we'll see them putting another British classic back on the road.
Now, Now, here in Germany, there is one tradition that's known more than any other at this time of year, and that is the Christmas markets. Many other countries have now adopted this tradition, but one of the longest-running markets in Germany is the Christkindlmarkt in Nuremberg. It has a history dating back over 400 years and is a massive tourist attraction. So, let's take a look at the atmosphere as it opened for 2013.
It's not only children who love Nuremberg's Christmas market. Every year it draws over 2 million visitors from all over the world.
This is the first time I visit Germany. And everybody said you should go to Nuremberg Christmas market. So I'm here.
Beautiful.
Many people have said to us they're surprised that we come from California to come to Germany at this time of the year for this, but it's something special to see once in your life.
It's a Nuremberg tradition for a local girl to open the festivities. She's called the Christkind. 18-year-old schoolgirl Therese Treuheit took the stage this year and will do so next year too. The Nuremberg Christkind is always elected to serve for 2 years.
I wasn't that nervous because I was prepared by a really good actor. He helped me to learn my lines, and he told me to just be natural. And that was that, really.
There are 180 wooden booths in total. Many of them have been run by the same families for generations. Their wares and displays haven't changed much either. The market is one of the oldest in Germany, dating back to the 17th century. Nuremberg sausages and mulled wine are a must for all visitors, as is fruitcake, and of course the city's famous gingerbread or Lebkuchen. According to legend, a baker whose daughter Elizabeth was dying decided to bake her a cake using only the best ingredients to nurse her back to health. All the Nuremberg traditions go down well with the tourists.
I'm looking forward to this traditional German Christmas. It's so different from Brazil.
I've heard that the Nuremberg Christmas market is the most beautiful one in Germany, and for me it really is.
Nuremberg is also known for these figures made from dried fruit. Making them is pretty much a year-round business.
It all starts off in January again. I have to prepare everything first. Sew the hats, the dresses, the aprons for the butchers, for example. I have to make them all, and then in August and September, I start putting them all together.
But for now, visitors have 4 weeks to enjoy the market and all the goodies on offer, until it closes once again on December 24th.
Now, if you were wanting to raise money for a charity close to your heart, then there are a few options that most people think of. For example, running a marathon, doing a skydive, or even growing a moustache. When you have the ability to sing, though, there is another option: make an album. This is exactly what Jose Carreras has just done. Together with Placido Domingo and the late Luciano Pavarotti, Carreras was one of the 3 tenors seen here in Paris, who took the world by storm in the 1990s. After recovering from leukemia 25 years ago, Carreras set up his own foundation. He's already raised millions towards research into the disease, and he hopes to increase that figure with the proceeds of his latest CD.
È impossibile come accendere una fiamma dalle cenere e confondere col sorriso questa voglia che ho di piangere.
Jose Carreras' new album is a celebration of his second life, which he says began a quarter of a century ago.
I have the huge privilege of celebrating the fact that 25 years ago I was cured of leukemia. And I think that it's worth taking the time to appreciate how marvelous life can be, how varied and unusual everything that life has to offer is.
And Meraviglioso, or Marvelous, is the name of his new CD. He was recently in Berlin to promote it prior to its release. The album features classical versions of 14 popular songs, including many he loved as a boy. Carreras says it was music that helped him get through the radiotherapy and chemotherapy all those years ago.
I had no watch, and so no real sense of time. Each session lasted 30 to 45 minutes. So I would hum arias that I knew would take a long time to sing, like Aida, for example, which is 3.5 minutes long, or La Bohème, 4 minutes, or Tosca, 2 minutes. And that gave me a sense of how much time I still had left to go.
The new anniversary CD includes co-productions with a number of Carreras' famous friends, including pianist Lang Lang. Carreras had already performed together with Lang Lang in China.
I'm very grateful to all the artists for their generosity. They all worked for free.
All proceeds from the sale of the album will go to Carreras' Leukemia Foundation. Thanks to charity galas like this one on German television, he's so far raised some 300 million euros for leukemia research. All the tracks on his latest album are new arrangements. He spent 2 years working with his long-standing producer Christian Kolonowitz on the project.
The greats in this business are also good people. That's who I love to work with. That's how it is with him. There are no ego problems. We just get straight down to work, and I can say with great respect that I've learned an awful lot from him.
I don't think there's any better job in life than to sing for others. I consider myself really lucky.
Me considero un hombre muy, muy afortunado. Tu che amar non sai, tu che amar non puoi, sei stretto.
It's classic José Carreras work and a celebration of life, shared with his fans.
Now, although it might be summer down under, here in the Northern Hemisphere, people are preparing to hit the slopes if they haven't done already. All of the winter sports resorts are now open in Europe, and one of the largest and most popular in Switzerland is St. Moritz. This area has a wide range of slopes for free riding, carving and speeding straight downhill. So for adrenaline seekers, St. Moritz is pretty much ski heaven.
The St. Moritz City Race sends skiers right through the centre of town. A slope was built there so local residents and tourists can celebrate the start of the winter season.
It's great that the season's starting again. We live from skiing, and it shows. Everyone here is involved heart and soul in an event like this.
Nice to look forward for the snow and a good winter season in St. Moritz. This is really the beginning of a good season, I think.
Now it can really start. We need just 1 more meter of snow and it will be perfect.
It snowed heavily again in the night, so when the slopes around St. Moritz opened for the first day of the season, winter sports fans found the best possible skiing conditions.
This is our home, and it's the best place for skiing.
Fantastic, especially with this weather and these slope conditions. Overwhelming.
You just glide over the hills. It's almost like flying.
Andrea Punchera grew up in this region and used to be a professional skier.
This is my big passion. I used to spend 360 days a year in ski boots, so it's in my heart.
Now Andrea works as a ski instructor, teaching beginners how to zip across the snow. The right equipment is crucial. The big brands have unveiled their new products for the season in St. Moritz. Equipment is increasingly specialized. One trend this winter is all mountain skis. Andrea Punchera can use them for cross-country tours or on prepared slopes to carve. That means to ski in fast curves. And the backdrop in and around St. Moritz is breathtaking. St. Moritz is in the Engadin Valley in the Swiss Alps. It's famous as a luxury ski resort.
St. Moritz has something very important. When the sun shines, the sky is a very special blue. This isn't a tall tale. When the sun shines, the sky here is just different.
DJ Antoine is one of Switzerland's best-known musicians internationally. On the season opening weekend, he provided the music at the après-ski at 15 degrees below 0 Celsius.
I love to ski. The problem is that I do so much traveling that lately I've let it slip a bit. But this January, for the first time in 3 or 4 years, I'm going to ski in St. Moritz again.
So St. Moritz is celebrating the start of the ski season. And with his concert, DJ Antoine has already provided one of the season's high points.
Oh, being in the snow is always a good place to behave like a kid again. Actually, though, we came across another place in Hanover that encourages men to pretend they're boys. After the local toy shop closes for business, the owner invites the men in to drink beer, eat pretzels and play with the toys, something they could have only dreamt of doing when they were half their age.
Remote-controlled helicopters, pool, darts, and tabletop soccer. These are just a few of the many disciplines facing these Olympians in the making.
There's a lot of competition. You have to prove yourself. I hate it when the guys beat the boss.
Fantastic.
It's tough. I need a beer.
I should have had more sons than daughters. It'd be more fun playing.
Let's turn back the clock a few hours. The store has just closed for business for the day, and now opens its doors for the older generation. The latest recruits to the arena are a group of firefighters. The evening's proceedings are run by Heinz Lehmann. He won a Government Innovation Award for his pioneering idea.
An elderly gent said he'd love to be locked in here for a night, and I said, okay, we can do that.
And the concept has really taken off since its launch 4 years ago. The group face-offs are normally packed to capacity.
The guys love it. They come in here with no idea of what to expect. And then something just clicks in us men. It's difficult to explain.
The rules are easy. The men are split into groups of 4 and then get down to business on the track, the table, and the carpet. There are a total of 11 stages on the road to glory or ignominy. Participants pay a €30 entry fee for the privilege. The dividends are priceless.
It's about men's primeval instincts, ambition, beating your opponent, and being the best. That's what being a man means.
As a young boy, you survey all the store shelves and don't know what you're allowed and what you're going to get for Christmas. And now that we're bigger boys, we can have it all.
Boys and their toys, an old adage that the games industry is now picking up on. The phenomenon is particularly evident on the internet. The Carreras slot car brand now has a special online section for real men. For German fans, Lego has its very own website catering to the grown-ups. And model railways have always been an excuse for dads to play, of course.
30% of sales are now online, and that's a real problem for retailers, and we feel the effect. So we're happy for this additional money earner. We get over 60 men here on one evening, and we have a great time.
The gaming session lasts a grueling 4 hours, but guy-style refreshments are available. At the stroke of midnight, it's time to tally the points and announce the winner. A tourney by day, all-conquering champ by night. His prize is a Matchbox car as a memento of his night of triumph.
It's great. Now I want to hear some appreciation.
It has everything.
It's a lot of fun.
I'll be back.
Heinz Lehmann is happy too. His guys' nights have built up a cult following in Hanover. And the trend they've set is catching on big time across Germany.
After the wars of the 1990s, Serbia wasn't exactly a popular tourist destination. But in recent years, it's really picked up. Many areas have been modernised, but the Djerdap National Park has been left untouched. It's located on the border with Romania and is an absolute gem of unspoilt nature. So we thought it was high time we went to explore this area of southeastern Europe.
The Djerdap National Park in northeastern Serbia is located some 150 kilometers from the capital Belgrade. You can enter the park from the Golubac fortress, which used to tower above the water before a dam was built in 1971. Now the fortress lies right on the River Danube. The second longest river in Europe forms the border between Serbia and Romania. The landscape is filled with gorges, lakes and fjords. The Djerdap Gorge, known as the Iron Gate, is the national park's main attraction. It used to be hard to navigate, but then a dam was built over 40 years ago, and now ships can pass through without any difficulty. Jovan Ilic is a ranger and one of the 35 employees who protect the forest from poachers and timber thieves. He can't think of a better place to work.
The Djerdap National Park is the biggest park in Serbia. It encompasses 63,700 hectares. More and more visitors from Serbia and Europe are coming here. I think the numbers are going to increase in the future. And of course we want more visitors from Europe. We really think it's the most beautiful national park in Serbia. You could say it's a bit of paradise in Europe.
The fishermen ride out in the early morning hours to see what's turned up in their nets. Most of the inhabitants here earn their keep through agriculture or fishing. Carp and catfish are most abundant. The tabula Traiana is a relic from Roman times. It was built in 102 AD to commemorate the completion of a military road. On the Romanian side, the largest rock sculpture in Europe depicts a Dacian king.
People have a positive view of the Danube. It attracts tourists, and Serbia has recognized that tourists come from other regions too, not just Serbia.
The Djerdap National Park is already one of the most popular tourist attractions in Serbia. Now the authorities hope to draw even more visitors.
Well, that beautiful scenery has brought us nicely to the end of the show for today. So all that's left for me to do now is to say thank you for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Goodbye.